Gets out of it. Sometimes it's better to have some.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick, service manager. Nice to see everyone. I'm pretty much going to go over vacuums, some corded extractors, burner gear, stuff like that. Just basic maintenance, operator use. 90% of our issues when a vacuum comes here is a power issue. Cord or plugs, the prongs on the cord just being bad or bent or destroyed. We literally have a tech that works on vacuums all day, every day, replacing cords, switches, and plugs even. So the main thing is when we've already went over this, I know we did, pull it out of the wall from the actual plug itself. Don't yank it out. Be careful around corners, edges, doorways, elevators, you know, the whole 9 yards. When you are wrapping the cord up, you want to wrap it from the machine to the end of the plug to get all the knots and kinks out of the cord so it's wrapped up properly, not knotted up, wrapped around the handle. You know what I'm saying? All right. The other thing, while you're doing that, you want to inspect the cord. Make sure the cord isn't ripped or sliced. You don't want any exposed wires. You want to always make sure the cord is intact. So those are the most important things about these vacuums is the power cord. We're going to go through all these different units here. For the most part, the sanitary, it's the most basic. You have a belt, a brush, a motor, a power switch, and a bag. That's all you got. You want to always make sure that the brush is adjusted properly. On the front here, there's a knob to dial in on the carpet. What happens is when your brush is dug into the carpet too much, you're just pushing that dirt into the carpet. You actually want the bristles to flick the dirt into the rest of the vacuum so that the dirt will actually recover into the bag. So the adjustment is on a lot of these vacuums. For this particular one, to change the brush and the belt, it's nice and easy. There's two little clips underneath. Plate comes off. Okay? A lot of times these plates get rusty and damaged. Always make sure these are clean. If you have chips coming off here, you're ripping your carpet, or it's rusty and you're putting rust back down, you want to avoid all that. So always make sure these are clean. Whenever you're checking the brushes, always make sure the plates are cleaned off. When you're putting this brush and this belt on these particular models, you want to always make sure that the brush can move freely. If you ever put it in there and it's locked up, it's not installed properly. Okay? Brush comes right out, and it spins freely. All the bearings are good, nothing's bent. You got your end caps, it's nice and tight. Okay? If this is loose or wobbly or bent or anything that could possibly happen there, do not put it in the machine. It will ruin it. It'll ruin the motor, it'll ruin the housing. Always make sure that the bristles and the brushes are clean and actually spinning freely. Okay? As far as the belts go, just inspect it, make sure it's not stretched, it's not cracked, dry rotted, anything that could possibly happen. On the sanitaries themselves, there is a groove in here where the belt rides. If you put the belt on backwards, it will not sit in the groove here, and it'll actually spin the wrong way, and you'll just have tons of issues. So whenever you're putting the belt and the brush back on, you want to make sure that you're putting it back in the exact way that it came out. Okay? Once it's spinning freely, you got your new belt. What you're going to do is you're just going to slide it on here. The end caps here have arrows on them. You want to make sure that they go in properly so that the plate can sit flush against the bottom of the machine. Okay? I always put the brush in first. Take your belt, loop it around the motor. You can see it's locked into the groove here. Okay? Do this backwards. See here, it's not even close to being lined up to the groove. Okay, so you always want to make sure the belt is on properly. Once we got it on properly, I always recommend spinning it with your hand a few times. Make sure that it is moving freely. There's no debris, no buildup, no hair. You want to just visually check and make sure that it's good to operate. The bottom plate just snaps on. Grooves on the bottom. pins, locks it back in, you're ready to rock and roll. Never operated on a wet carpet, obviously. Whenever you're picking up salt, make sure the carpet is in fact dry. You'll go right to the motor, you reel your motor, and then you call on us and we're sounding the vacuum.
Yeah.
Let me know what happens. So the sanitary, I mean, this is the workhorse here. There's really nothing to it. Whenever you're inspecting the bag, I'll show you how the bag comes off. There's a spring on the top here. The bag just has a quick latch on it. There is no paper bag in here. This is just the dump bag. They do have other versions where there's actually a paper bag inside here. And if you do have that kind of vacuum, make sure there is a bag in it. You don't want to use this as the bag if it takes a paper bag, okay? All you do is take the slide off, dump it out, find a trash can and just, hit it on the side, whatever's easiest.
Wear a mask first.
Yeah, wear a mask or go outside or even throw it out and buy a new one.
And we do sell those, right, Nick?
So what's that?
We do sell those.
We sell the bags, we sell the brushes, the belts,
Wear the mask.
They are really good in the vacuum.
And the mask.
I would prefer the one which has the paper bag.
yeah, sure, of course, yeah. It's all preference and price.
It's a very old model.
It's a little bit older, yeah. It's been around for a while and there's tons of them out there. So it is a really good unit. You can see how small the hole is here for the debris pickup. If you ever notice it's not picking up properly, chances are there's buildup
Black.
right in here, okay? Yeah, you can clean it out. I'd recommend just calling us, we'll send you that. And all you gotta do is pop it right on the machine.
Easy maintenance.
Push right in, and the string comes up on the okay. Make sure that there's always the 2 cord hooks. If there's not cord hooks on here, you're not going to wrap the cord properly, you're going to have issues. It's literally a $2 part. Make sure that you keep them intact, and when they break, we get new ones out of the machine. Pretty easy, pretty basic unit. I'm going to just keep on going on to the next one. If you guys have any questions, feel free to jump in, stop me. The next most basic bag, in my opinion, is the Tennant. This does have a dual motor. It's going to have a brush motor. It's going to have a vacuum motor. Okay. You can use one. You can use just the vacuum if you want, or you can use both of them and actually run it on carpet. The wand on the side here will actually come out and break apart. You can check it for clogs, things of that nature. It does extend, so you don't get down and actually, hit your corners, your grooves, all that good stuff. This machine does come with the tools on it. It's got the tool and the little crevice tool. It's a really nice feature. The only other thing on this, as clog points go, besides your hose, might be this lower hose here, okay? We always want to make sure that you're inspecting this, make sure there's no clogs inside here. That's one of the big clog points on this machine. Another thing on here, just like the sanitary, the bottom plate comes off very easily. You guys should be inspecting this, all the time. Make sure that when you take it off, it's intact. Is that rivets on here?
It's supposed to come off simple.
No.
No.
You hear it? See, sometimes the bumper will catch it.
It's a brand new machine, it's just been assembled, hasn't been a part yet.
It's spinning nice and freely, belt's intact. This brush can only go in one way. Like on the sanitary, you put it in 2 ways. Have fun trying to get this one.
Belt is in the side.
Yeah, the belt's to the side, it's completely covered, should have no issues here. And here's your brush motor down here, okay? So your vacuum motor actually sits back here, and your brush motor sits down here. If you ever notice that your brush motor's not kicking on or it's not sucking up, you want to inspect the belt itself, make sure it's on there, okay? I believe there is a circuit breaker on here as well, okay? If you are sucking up a lot of hair, carpet fibers, and you notice that the belt isn't spinning anymore, there is a protector here for the motor so we don't overheat the motor. So if it ever stops working properly, check the breaker here first. And there's also another one for the vacuum fan on the back, okay? If it senses a clog and the vacuum fan starts working harder, it starts overheating, it's gonna pop that circuit breaker. So that you don't ruin the actual motor itself. This unit does have a few filters on it. Got your filter here. Always make sure this is clean. A lot of people say, well, can I wash it off? We don't recommend it. If you do use water, make sure it's absolutely dry. Okay. The best thing to do is replace it or vacuum it off with another vacuum or something. Definitely want to make sure this filter's intact. Any questions on the Tennant version, the Tennant machine? I mean, it's pretty basic.
How you change your belt?
How do you change the belt? All you gotta do is pop it right out. Should pop right out. There's a little plate on here. Okay. And the brush comes straight out. Okay. Pretty basic. It does ride in a couple grooves over here, so when you do hook it up, you want to make sure your belt does sit directly in the grooves. If it's not, it will tear it up and it will ruin it. Like I was telling you about the hose, if you ever find a clog in here, here's how you access it. This will pop out, you can get a coat hanger or something, this is how you clean out this bottom hose here. Okay? Pretty easy. I'll show you guys over here. Hose pops right out, direct shot right to it. Yeah, nice and easy, exactly. Can't stress the cords enough. Unplug them from the wall, wrap them up properly. 10 feet, rip it out, there you go. Now you're calling it.
It's rough. Halfway around here, brother.
Just gonna pop this back in.
As he's putting that together real quick, let me ask you guys, the very first thing we do when we find that we have an issue with our vacuum, what do? Or anything electrical that we have, what do?
Always keep it unplugged.
We unplug it before we stick our fingers in it, guys. We grab the cord, like you were saying, on a vacuum, it's 10 or 15 feet from the wall. Not like the wall behind Scrubber with 25 feet, this is 10 or 15 feet. No, go right to the wall, we unplug it, and then we check everything we need to check, we plug it back in and test it.
Put it back together before you go.
Yes, ma'am.
Always make sure that the prongs are intact. Like Chuck was saying, you don't want to leave one in the wall. You definitely need all 3 prongs, and make sure the cords are not ripped or not cut. Yeah, they do rust, yeah.
So why not take like a little bit of like a car wax and stick on
Well,
there?
then you put the wax on the carpet.
No, you can let it dry, you can like back off, that's what I said.
So that's the Tennant HEPA version of the upright vacuum. It's a really nice vac. We sell tons of them. Pretty basic, and the nice thing is it does have the tools, the brush and the crevice tool. Going to the sensor. I know everybody probably has seen these or has them. These are the Cadillac vacuums. They are the most expensive that we carry here, but they do, in my opinion, the best job. They do have a control board on here. It tells you a couple things, a couple different functions. If there's an error, it'll tell you there's an error. If it's clogged, it'll tell you it's clogged. If the brush isn't spinning, it'll tell you the brush isn't spinning. You can go from carpet to tile, and it'll self-adjust. And this vacuum is the bee's knees, as they say. Okay. It does have a carrying handle on here. Whenever you're carrying this machine, you want to make sure you're carrying it by the handle. If you carry it from here or anywhere else, you will pull these out of here. There's connections down here, wires in here. You will burn up connections and ruin the machine. always make sure you're carrying it from the actual carrying handle. One of the best features of this machine is that the cord will come out completely, okay? The cord and the handle. If you have more than one and the machine stops working, you can take your cord off another one, put it in here. You know, you have a power issue right in the handle here. You can bring us these. We have people dropping these off 5, 10 at a time. And we're replacing switches and cords and plugs.
That feature can't be overlooked, because so many people don't know how to replace a cord. So to replace a cord, all you do is lift up, my dog could do it.
Yeah, seriously.
Replace cords.
I can't, but your dog can.
Correct.
You can't even get it out, I mean.
So that's one of the greatest features of this machine. You can pop in the next handle, oh, fires up, and all we gotta do is either replace or repair the handle. And if you look in here, on the end here, there's connections. This is what sends the power down to the rest of the machine. So if you lift it up from here, you are gonna weaken this connection, and you're gonna loosen this up, and you will burn up these wires in here. That's why the carrying handle's on here, so that you can use it, okay? You got your filter here, bag. Nice thing about this is there's a spring here for the filter. You can't operate this machine, or at least have the cover on, unless the filter's in it. Same with the bag. If the bag's not in here and locked in, this cover will not go on. So we've seen where people will tape this up or whatever they gotta do. Always make sure that this is working properly and the filters are clean. And again, you can just vacuum these off, whatever you gotta do, replace them. But this is definitely crucial. As far as the hose goes, pops right out of here. And it'll actually come completely out of the wand here. And you can run a coat hanger, a broomstick, whatever you gotta do if the hose gets clogged. After the hose, the wand comes down, comes right to the base here. The only other place it'd be clogged is down here at the base. Chances are it's not going to clog in here because the hose actually sits all the way inside this tube when it's on the machine. This machine will break apart here too. Okay? Now you got this machine completely dismantled in a matter of a couple minutes. Again, there are connections here, wire connections. If this is not on properly or tight, you will burn these up, and we'll have to replace the wires here and all the connectors. The only other possible spot it can be clogged is inside this swivel neck here, okay? There's a nice yellow door on the bottom here, and this will give you access directly up this swivel neck, okay? Coat hanger, anything will go right through here and clean out the clog. Pretty easy. The brush on here, when the end cap here pops off, brush comes out. Okay. Inspect it, make sure it's not junked up, make sure the bristles aren't damaged. The bristles are what sends the signal to the controller to adjust it properly. So we always want to make sure the brush is intact, okay? On the side of the brush door, there is a bearing in here. Anytime we replace a brush, we replace the door with the bearing. That's what makes it ride nice and smooth. If this bearing is locked up, it'll lock up the brush, it'll lock up the pulley, locking up the belts, ruining the motor. So these are all things that we need to make sure we're replacing on a regular basis. It's the brushes, the doors, and the filters. If you run this machine with no brush in it, it'll tell you, check brush, something's going on. The belts break, it'll tell you, broken belt. If that's the case and the belts do break, we recommend sending it in and we'll replace them for you. You have to get inside here and open it up, and it's a pretty good job, so we don't want you guys tampering with all the wires and all that good stuff. That's basically the whole machine in a nutshell, okay? We'll put it back together here. Brush slides in, and it fits in the grooves in here. Right on the shaft, there's a couple grooves, and it's gonna lock all the way in, okay? And you actually feel it. If you start turning, you can actually feel it grabbing the motors, or grabbing the belt. Idle cap pops on. You're ready to rock. That's the bottom. Nice and easy. Foot pedal to lower it. Windsor's doing this new thing that anything yellow is an item that's going to be touched by the operator. So you'll see here, yellow here, yellow cord. Okay? Pretty easy.
I had one and I could not get it closed. Put a new bag in and I can't get it to close. What am I doing wrong?
You might not be doing anything wrong. It could be something in here could be damaged. When you put the bag in, it actually pushes this little flap in. Make sure that's in there and make sure it's working properly. Okay? So that's the nice feature about this, is if the bag isn't installed properly or if there is something wrong, it won't even let you run the machine pretty much. When you're snapping this back on, you want to just make sure everything lines up. This stopper here goes right in this groove. Make sure it gets in there. Okay? If it doesn't, this is going to sit on here wobbly. You're going to start frying connections. You're going to have a lot of different issues. Okay? When this goes on here, it'll actually snap into place. Okay? Now you're ready to keep going. Let's get the filter in there. And this is why I love this vacuum, because you can literally break it down, replace one or two little items, and you can rebuild this thing.
No tools.
No, yeah, you don't need anything really. The only thing you need tools for is if we're getting into the bottom doing electrical connections, motors, things of that nature. But you guys can do all of this without any tools. Okay, the housing sits on here. That's right.
Question, the bag holder breaks, do they sell that part as well?
This part here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because inside everything is plastic, so,
Yeah, you can buy this door, ready to go, just like this.
because I can see that, it's not like frozen, you break.
Right. You can buy the door with all these components already installed on it as an assembly, just the way it comes. As far as the hose goes, when this is on here, when the wand's on here, it sits in this little groove on here. That actually opens up a little lockout in here so that the hose can go in and come out freely, okay? If you take it off of here, the hose will be locked in and out, okay? So now you go around to your edges and your corners and all that stuff. But to take it out, all you have to do is push this little button in, and it'll pop right out.
You guys carry any other wands that would extend further out that you could get?
For this unit,
Yeah.
they don't have a telescopic one, but they do make like a 2-foot extender tube that you put on here. Yeah. The only problem with that is there's nowhere to put it on the machine. You have to duct tape it to the side or something. Handle goes right in. It does have a nice latch back here. Once it's in, down all the way, lock the latch down. That's going to lock it in here. And then as we've stressed over and over, and you can't stress enough, we wind up the cord. We make sure we start at the actual vacuum, and we use the cord hook, and we're getting all the kinks and wrinkles and anything else that could be in here out of here. Okay.
And the same stuff with a full bag?
Yeah, yes, if there's a clog or a full bag, there's a light on here. It actually says bag full or clog right here on there.
That's the important, that's the biggest call I get actually as a salesman. They say, hey, my vacuum doesn't work. And I just replaced the bag. Well, it says bag full, or now it says clog on there, because it used to.
Yeah.
So it might just be a clog somewhere in the machine. And there's actually another filter on there too.
Or might be a bad sensor,
Oh, yeah,
or
sorry.
might be a bad sensor.
What's that?
Could be a bad
It
sensor.
could be a bad sensor, and that does
The
happen.
bag and the bag is empty, I keep saying it's a bad sensor.
Correct.
Normally when the vacuum's clogged, you can hear that motor running really, really loud, okay? What I always do first thing, if somebody tells me this vacuum's clogged, what I do is I take the hose off of here, okay? And normally you'll hear that motor going back to normal where it should be, okay? And then you'll have suction here. Now you know that the clog is elsewhere. It's not in the bag or the bag housing, it's actually in one of the hoses. And you can do the same, you know, with the wand. Take the wand out, and if you notice that it has a different pitch, and you have suction here, then you know you got your clog down here. So you kind of pinpoint where it's at by these steps here. There is an exhaust filter down here, clips right in. Again, we always want to make sure that these are clean and not damaged, not gunked up. A lot of times when these motors, you know, start working too hard and they overheat or they get warm, this plastic will actually start to warp, okay? Once the motor gets too hot, you know, the plastic can warp a little bit and the cover might not stay on properly. So we want to avoid that by replacing the filters on a regular basis. Pops right in.
One thing I just noticed on that is the cord, where it comes out of the handle,
Yeah,
it's bent.
yeah.
So that gives it a place for it to start burning.
Yeah, it does. They got the strainer leaf on here that's supposed to help it a little bit. A good idea is to actually hold a little bit out and then start wrapping it, so you do have a little bit extra slack there. But yeah, that is definitely a stress point on the board itself.
The most common call I get when they say their sensor isn't working anymore is this clip on the handle gets loose every now and then. And it'll, once it pops up, then that handle gets loose in there. And they'll say, hey, it won't turn on, it won't do anything. So I'll drive all the way out to Avon Lake or wherever, come in and push that back down. And a lot of times that's all it is.
And the only way that's gonna, normally the only way that's gonna happen is if they're
Yeah.
really,
No.
is if they're carrying it like this. Okay, that's how it comes
I just
loose.
charge
That's
an
how
extra for
it-
that.
You're carrying it by the handle,
Phone
that should not happen.
I actually have one of those at home. I have a plastic machine. So,
Yeah.
yeah, they're great machines.
How much did you pay for yours?
I don't remember, 15
Oh,
years ago. I'm old.
Yeah, salesman, yeah.
It was free, they gave me one a year.
See?
A fresh new one
See?
every year.
Scratch it, that way you don't
Yeah.
get 3 weeks vacation.
Hey, I think you might.
Actually, I bought a used one from the service department too, actually, and it still runs. These guys fix
You
it.
hear that? It still works.
How many
Yeah.
like the vacuum?
I love it. I love
How
it.
many vacuums you have there? How many vacuums you have for that kind?
Just one of that kind. And about 8
They're
different
light.
How they are loud?
No, they're light.
The 5845, the sanitary, this has a lot of cool features on it as well. It's kind of like the Windsor, it does have the tools on it, it does have a nice hose, you can clear it out, whatever you gotta do. It is bagless, okay? So you always wanna make sure this is clean, that this is on properly. Here's your HEPA filter. You always wanna make sure that these are clean and never destroyed. Without this, the machine will not operate, okay? You can't put this lid on here unless there's a filter in it, okay? This won't even close. If this is clogged, you will not get any suction from this machine. So you want to make sure that these filters are constantly being changed and cleaned out. And if you're going to tap them out and reuse them, make sure you're using a mask or, you know, outside somewhere. It's a lot of dust and you're going to just breathe all that in.
They can be washed the night before and let it dry for the following day and they will be completely clean.
The main thing is to make sure they're not wet when they go back in.
Yes.
I would go over the cord with you guys again, but I think you guys kind of get it. We're wrapping it from the machine to the end of the plug, inspecting it for damage, and making sure that it is always wrapped properly. As far as the brush and the belt go on here, there's no easy, take this door off and let's replace this. It's a little bit intense, you gotta take the top off the cover here, and then you can have access to the brush and the belt.
We got a
Now,
screwdriver.
the belt is totally enclosed here, so you don't have to worry about damaging it necessarily for debris and things of that nature. But again, just like the other machine, there is an adjustment knob. You want to make sure it's adjusted properly. Okay? A lot of times people say, oh, I'm moving it, it's not doing anything. It'll only engage when the machine's in the operating position. Okay? Now it'll actually be adjusted. Okay?
The only issue with the vacuum is that I have some of those, and the filter doesn't stay on. They have to clean it.
Right.
Issue.
So this goes back to making sure that they're always being cleaned and being changed out normally.
But they clean it and.
A lot of, the actual vacuum motor sits right here in here, okay? And these motors are already running at top speed. As soon as you put a clog or a strain on that motor and it starts running faster, it does get warm. And a lot of times this plastic will warp.
And they
And
break.
the filters, right.
They break really easy.
And the filter just snaps in just like that. I mean, if it's not that easy, then chances are it did get warm and something happened or the filter's damaged. The other intake filter here, it's kind of just like a little sponge. This is to protect any debris from going down into the actual motor itself. So always make sure that the little sponge filter is installed on the machine here. Okay. I got the filter on here. This is just a twist turn on, ready to rock and roll. We're going to install it in here. And that dust cup filter goes right back here to the hose. 2 little clips takes it right off. This is your major clog port of this vacuum, is right here in this elbow. So if you ever have any issues, it's not sucking up. First thing you check is the filter, second thing you check is the hose right here at this clear elbow here. And they make it clear so you can see right through it. You don't have to take it apart to actually look at it. Pretty easy machine. The hose on here is nice because it does stretch, so you can actually get way over here, way over there. A lot of times on the other units, it's not like that. It's 2 feet and you're struggling to get it.
But also this hose stretch out with the edge.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then it's hanging almost on the
Too
floor.
Yeah, the other thing I've noticed on these machines is when people are using the tools and they're actually doing corners and edges, a lot of times when people use it, they're leaning on this, okay? And they're doing one of these. Well, what that's doing, that's putting a lot of stress on the belt and the brush here, okay? So you want to make sure that if you are doing that, we're not leaning this forward and ruining that belt. And that's why the Tennant vacuum has the 2 different motors. You can control that, so you don't have to worry about that. Again, pretty basic, easy vacuum.
It's not
It's really not.
It's just because everything's plastic, we're off grid.
All you have to do is take care of it, make sure you clean it, and it actually does work very well.
No, I think that's good. It doesn't.
No, it don't.
When,
Hey, if you don't like it, we'll gladly sell you that.
We like whatever possible.
Just wear out over time. They're just plastic.
That machine is only good for vacuuming offices.
Not always.
No, not always. I got 5 brand new ones. And I have nothing but problems with those things.
Some new ones are.
You know, and the filter, you gotta clean the filter at the top, you gotta take it, you gotta vacuum. Is there an easier way to clean up filter other than taking it and banging it? Because as you bang it,
You can vacuum it off with another one.
Huh?
Well, you can vacuum it off or just replace it. Call me and order a dozen of them.
It collects so much dust so quick.
Some people.
What does that tell you? It's doing its job as a building standard.
Unless you get
Clean
a
the
compressor.
Blow it up and leave it.
Yes.
We're gonna move on to the protein. The 12 and the 1500 XP. Just like the Tennant machine, the Tennant vacuum, it does have brush motor and vacuum motor. So you don't necessarily need to run both of them at the same time. The main things on here, issues with power, is people don't know how to operate them properly. If the bag isn't in here properly, the machine will not turn on. If the wand isn't down all the way, the machine will not turn on. So we always want to make sure that there is a bag in here. It's the proper bag. If it's not the proper bag, it's going to miss this little lockout switch in here, and it's not even operating. Okay? So always make sure we have the correct bags in it. A lot of times people say, well, it won't turn on, and literally all we do is, okay, go ahead. You can go. So, proper bag and the wand, there's also a switch right down here. If the wand is not in here, the brush motor won't even turn on. And like I was going back to here, if you're using your wand in a corner and edge and you're leaning on here, unlike that one, this brush is gonna turn off, so you want to worry about damaging this motor. Okay? Wand comes out, hose comes off, very easy to clean out, check for clogs. There's a reason to check it. It's got the onboard tools, which are nice. This tool actually is the brush tool and the floor tool. If you put this on here backwards and spread this out, you can actually use this like this as well, to do walls or edges or whatever you gotta do. So this is a multi-purpose tool on here. Now you do. A couple filters, exhaust filters, one on each side. Again, make sure these are always clean. Without them being clean, the motor's gonna run very, very hot and start warping this plastic and these covers down. So I want to make sure that those are clean properly. You'll see on the bottom here, there is really no easy way to get into the brush and the belt. It is spinning freely, that's the main thing. Another part here is the hose back here. Sometimes these hoses will pop out of here. You want to make sure that these hoses are intact. Sometimes this hose will pop out, you go to use it and just put debris on, back on the floor and whatnot. So make sure that hose is intact. And also the carrying handle on here, just like the Windsor, there's connections in here. All the way down here, we got electrical connections. Make sure we're using this handle here, okay? This handle actually screws into the housing, and you're taking all the strain off of the actual wires and the electrical components itself. If you have a clog in here and you've broken it down this far, the only possible place that it could be clogged still is coming down through the housing here. It is kind of tricky to clear that clog out. The only way to do it is to come up through here this way. And again, then we would recommend sending it in so we can take this apart and inspect the hoses and all that stuff. It's a really nice machine. There is no, it just locks up like this. It's got two little clips here that locks it into place. So you don't have a foot pedal or anything, you just kick it down and it's ready to rock and roll. When it's in the up position, your brush will not kick on. Okay, there is a lockout here that tells you when it's in the operating position or not, so then that'll kick on your brush and whatnot. Circuit breaker for the brush is here. In case you do lock up the brush or the belt, here's the reset button. And it'll also tell you if the brush needs replaced, if the brush is okay, or if the bag needs replaced. Okay. So when you're operating this machine during normal use, you should see a little green light here that says okay. Any questions? Anything I'm missing that you guys know? Pretty easy unit.
Anybody questions? Nothing? Nobody? Let me tell you what this is for, I'm sure you've all seen it. That's the first time I've been doing these little classes for 10, 15 years now. That's the very first time somebody did tell me exactly what it's for.
Half the people here couldn't tell you that.
Just about every machine comes with one of these. Okay, I know you've seen them, and they've always been attached to the machine. And you got the cord in there somehow.
We got it right.
There we go, definitely.
That's definitely,
There you are. These are, just so everybody's on the same page here. The cheapest cord on one of these vacuums, I would say, is about $43. And it's probably the sanitary commercial. $43 for a cord, all right? I mean, how many of you guys know we go through, how many cords a year, okay? When I was with Tennant Company, I started a program at Kent State University, the main campus. They bought 65 of the Tennant BDMUs that's back in the corner there. The first year they went through 212 cords. I mean, of course, I replaced them all, I was captivated, But then we did this in-service for them that spring, and I introduced everyone with one of these. If they had their badge on, they had to have one of these on them, and show them how to use it. Separates like that, we put the cord through there, and we stick it right on our belt loop. Now it does two purposes. It keeps the cord away from the head itself so we can't run it over, and it keeps the young kids that don't wear belts and their pants are down in their butt, now they have to wear a belt. Bam, perfect. Twofold, right? Right? But no, seriously, greatest thing in the world, and they're only like $2, right, Brian?
Yep.
And the two,
$2 range.
really, they should, if you don't have them, ask your boss to get them. If you're a boss, buy a dozen of them and mandate that your employees have these. These will save you so much money, not only on cords on vacuum cleaners, and after we take a little bit of a break here, we're gonna get out some bigger equipment with bigger cords. It does the same exact thing. You know how we're always throwing cords over our shoulders? No, you know, first we're gonna kill ourselves, you know, we're hanging ourselves with the cord. This is what we use, we stick it on, and we look like professionals, like we know exactly what we're doing. All right, and the second thing I want to just stress too is and it's all about the cord because they are expensive, and it's something that we as operators can handle. That's something that we can control the destiny of that cord. I like to control the destiny. That's what it is. Anyways,
Yes, Coach.
wrapping. There you go. Yeah, Coach. Wrapping from the machine. Anything we work with electrical, it's from the machine to the wall. We unplug it and we let it twirl behind us as we're wrapping it up. If we do it the other way, guys, it's still twirling, but it's twirling, there's no outlet for it. So I know you all have something that has like, the cord looks like a pig's tail, all curled you. That's what it is. We've been taking it from the wall, doing this gate. And that's what causes that. All right, here again, cheapest cord, $43. When we get up into the bigger equipment that we're bringing out, we're looking at $150, $170 a cord. Plus, the couple dollars that it costs for me to come out. So it gets expensive, real quick, you know what I mean? And not like I said, that not that we're gonna get them a raise for doing this kind of stuff, but at least we don't give them an excuse not to give us a raise, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. We don't want to give somebody an excuse not to give us a raise. Right? What's that? There you go.
One last quick end user thing.
Sure.
End user thing.
Yeah.
So cords are the big thing. So also, you guys see a lot of vacuums with rust in the motors that come in. How does rust get in the motor? We talked about earlier. Moisture. You know what's happening is during the winter, floor mats in the front. People take their vacuum. There's some ice on in there. They're vacuuming. They're sucking, vacuuming it up. Water is pouring into the vacuum motor as they are doing that. And then you replace it with a vacuum motor. How much a vacuum motor on the winter sensor cost to replace?
$250.
$250.
Good day.
Yeah. Don't use your nice expensive vacuum on those wet mats during the winter. If you have to use a vacuum, if you're like, use a throwaway, use something like this, or use your wet dry vac. Is what we.
Wet dry vac. There we go.
That's what we're saying. So I have some of my accounts actually use these and then use them for that, and then throw them away when they're done. They'll probably get a year out of them or so. But it's better than their $500 vacuum on it. Use a wet, dry vacuum on your floor mats. Save yourself some money, save your facility some money, and like you're saying.
And in the wintertime, it's also a good idea to put an air mover on the entrance.
Yeah.
I mean, if you keep an air mover on the entrance all, in the wintertime, you shouldn't have to carpets. You don't have a trip hazard or a slip hazard. So.
One of the problems you have is calcium chloride when you get into the motor, and it'll absorb moisture.
And then they provide it.
And then it
Provide it,
Yeah.
and then-
Yeah.
So we want to make sure those carpets are,
I mean,
taken
they're
care of
dry,
before you.
they're dry, but still got
You
calcium
should
chloride.
buy ice from Donkey. We don't have any calcium problems.
There you go.
Do you guys want to do another break, or do you want to get into
We
this?
got any more questions here real quick? Anybody about any of the vacuums, any of the problems you're having, any issues with vacuums?
Just one came to my mind.
Yes.
We was having a wire breaker and breakage when I was ago, and it is okay if we use a cord extensioner to use as a proper wire. Like at this moment, they cut the one end of the cord extender,
With the extension cord, and use that, and then they wire the extension cord into
That
the
would
machine.
change the whole cord, I know what you're
The
talking
only thing I
about.
can say to that is that you have to make sure that it's the proper cord. And I couldn't tell you if it is or not unless I've seen it. So what I'm gonna say is no. It may very well be okay, because it may be the right size cord, but extension cords are all different sizes, guys. You know what I mean? So if we put a, 16 gauge cord on this 14 amp vacuum feed, we're gonna do some damage.
And if it's,
We're gonna-
and if it's too long, it'll also draw a lot of resistance as well. So
If it's
definitely want to make
What was
sure.
on there as a manufacturer will also do quite the same thing. Yep.
Sir, you got a question?
Yes, for the gray vacuum cleaner, we have one floor, okay, we have that model, we have another model with the, where you kickstart it on the side, you cut it on, and the cord, it attaches to, on the side of it.
Mhm.
And I know the guys use, they always pull the cord up out of it, and so we don't have those belt cord, and that's what we need those. I does all the maintenance, all the equipment, and you ask why they keep snatching the cord out, they say it's in a bad spot, so that's a good idea that they're.
Yeah, that definitely eliminated it right there, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the plug keeps coming on out. I mean, because I already tell them it's
It's a good feature actually to
It's a good
have.
feature, yes, it is.
Because you can replace the cord very easily, but you're right, it does pull out a
We
lot.
have a lot of problems with cords, and that's the main reason why we need that feature right there.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
We trade our cups in for this?
Anybody else? All right, we guys want to take another quick,
10
15 minutes?
10 minutes,
10 minutes?
yeah. Because we have lunch at the coming noon.
11:45.
We'll be all right. Did I do all right? We don't want.
Me and Tom are, I've got my things, I'll see you at the next meeting. With all my guys, I mean,
I hear you.
I absolutely had no problem. Then again, I'm a mechanic. I changed the filters, I changed the
Right,
fans,
right,
I wrap it up front, you know. Back in the
My sensor.
That's when it killed me, you know. I remember actually used to buy a stove for $272. And you're like, yeah, that's the cheapest shit in the world, you know. Then he built a 4.5.
Oh, the project. The newer styles.
The new Project, I've been selling them, I don't think we told them until we sold the Project. I totally sold them, yeah. I've been selling them.
I was gonna say, same idea, maybe we grab that special, the one we have with the special sign.
Yeah.
Just to show everybody, maybe spark some ideas.
Does replace it. It's a couple of wish features, it's not. Yeah, so like I've been selling
Those actually have
right
rates.
around there. List price is like 5.
We could put them on, but then you're gonna be going over the light.
Yeah, I'm just talking about these. Yeah. This one actually does the blinking lights. Yeah, no.
Your bigger machine? Oh, like your. Like, who do you know that like draw a water for a motorcycle?
That's what happens. You scratch it. Back. I typically say, They didn't do it, it said, we didn't do it because they said they weren't gonna hurt it. But actually, one night, we were checking
I
on
had
it.
so many, so that I never.
I wanted to try. It's a good use, it's sort of like a century.
No, I hear you, yeah, it's all about labor and, you know,
Yeah, that's what we do.
absolutely.
So I.
But what they're doing is they're taking it off the machine and put it
Either that or we could,
like, we do this, we use quarter off back. So that goes for wet bath, one of our.
yeah, I'll definitely address the issue.
Oh, they didn't pull the ends like that?
Right in.
Yeah, nice.
On the wall, something sporty, something so right up in there.
Nice.
Nice.
So the, just, you know, I was just talking about rebate, is $50 rebate on it, or $10 rebate? This is another one you don't really know.
I mean, they do the insulation on the outside first, the wires need. What's the same?
So one for your house.
I wouldn't. If I could afford one, I bought off my house.